many, many, many humanities and many universes within ourselves, as we ourselves are universes within a bigger universe. How about that? Ain't that something? That's worth it. I used to really not be into the heart chakra. I was all about the solar plexus chakra, the fire chakra, the gold chakra. Anyway. Anyway, let's say we did the homework and we made it. Chakra 5. Indigo colored. I like to think of it as a bluish green that's very light. Not dark, very light. More blue than green. I like to think of it as more blue than green. Ocean colors. Indigo. Depending on who you ask, it's different. Some folks say it's blue and that's fine. Some folks don't worry about colors and chakras and that's fine. If you're blind, who gives a fuck? They're just there. There's just something there. Or not. You don't have to believe me. I'm not 100% committed. I know that magic is, I just don't get it yet. So in that sense, shit, yeah, let's go with chakras. There's always a deeper nature ready to be revealed. I'm not so committed to my ego that I think I'm capable of solving all the questions. I'm sorry, we're getting derailed again. All right, let's just gun it, right? 5th chakra, sound chakra, indigo, color. It is the voice, creativity, burgeoning, connection through idea, burgeoning, bridging people through concept. Your imagination broaching into the physical from the words you speak. If you can speak a good floor plan to somebody who has the symbols to write, you can make a pretty good business. Word of mouth, oral traditions, spoken word art, sung art, song itself. If I were a cryptic sort, I might say the big deal about the 5th chakra would in fact be more than anything it does, it's what it's pointing at. If anything, it's not doing anything special, it's just there. But it indicates something that had to be there for it to become what it is. So there we are. It's kind of nice, isn't it? It's another one that I didn't used to really like. And now here we are. Finding that voice. Isn't that what we're doing here? While running and dying up on these hills. Anyway, truth is another core aspect of the later chakras. You speak the truth, and the world around you settles. You speak false, and try to get that many stories straight after you've been doing it a while. The world becomes a little shaky and chaotic. Of course, if you're the only one speaking the truth, well, hey, let's hope that doesn't happen too often in your life. Sometimes it does. May the force be with you when you come to the decisions. When you've heart-speaked it and you have to say it. When you've asked the questions and it all checks out. May the force be with you. Or whatever this thing is that's guiding me up this hill that I'm discovering as much as making while my breath runs in and out of its air supply, given by the trees around me, by the earth holding me, and by the skies beaming at me. Chakra number 6, the eye chakra, the third eye. Some say that's a mischaracterization. Note that in the original Vedic texts, it's been put forward to me anyway, that in the original incarnations of Vedic philosophy, there were not 7 chakras, there were 5. The throat was the last one, I think. I don't even know how they described it. maybe things got really nebulous and less physical, and you didn't need to point at a differentiation between chakras beyond the heart. They would have lumped the throat, the eye, and the crown together, maybe. I don't know. That's not my thing, you know? Having said that, sixth chakra, color blue. I think about it as a dark blue that lights up hot when it's spinning, right? But only the center. Like a really moody lightsaber. The element is light. The issues we're dealing with at this chakra, the things that you think about when you think about the eye chakra, insight, illusion, forest for the trees, connection across very subtle mediums. Things start to kind of blend together here. Is there anything else that I can say about the sixth chakra? The vision of your life. Even before you speak something, if you've got a vision behind that speech, if you've got clear sight, guiding not only your actions through your physical selves, but your actions through your words, and through the molding of your creative processes at more and more subtle levels, if they're more oriented in harmony with your intentions, with the stories that you're setting up in your life, with the great cosmic connections, then you are probably doing pretty good on this chakra. If you're blind, if you see fundamental disconnections everywhere, maybe you still got some chakra 2, chakra 4 work to do. I don't know. Anywho, seventh chakra, crown chakra, lotus chakra, color purple, iridescent, white, or it doesn't really matter at that point because it's just the universe, right? Where do you... It's the thought chakra, it's the ultimate connection chakra, it's the resolution of the paradox of being a soul as a part of God. It's the... and being God. It's the... we never needed to do this, we never needed to say anything, we never really needed to live this life. All that we're doing is playing this game, learning, developing, growing. And the spirit is always changing, but is always changeless. It's in the resolution of the paradoxes. That can never really be spoken, probably. And I speak like I can speak on it, but I don't think that my impression is at all any more than a clumsy and feeble attempt to grasp something truly beautiful. But then again, the whole thing is truly beautiful, right? I like talking in these terms. I like talking about colors and elements and things. It's fun. It's catchy. Little woo-woo, perhaps. But I'm grounded. Remember, my feet, every single half a second, have been hitting gray, hard, cracked, dead, man-fabricated turf that we call sidewalk and asphalt. Basically foot falling like hammers. Every word that I say, I'm just landing these feet on these cancerous tributaries that from the conscious self perspective, hey, it's a good way to get around. Fuck the earth beneath it. There's plenty of earth everywhere. See all that? See all that? Oh yeah. Once I saw a big fucking deer up there. Child self was like, Mother Earth, oh my God, am I going to be safe? Oh God, hold me. Anyway. The thought chakra. If you could even use words at that point in time, seventh chakra, you could call the chakra of thought, the chakra of consciousness, perhaps the chakra of chakras. If you were a Miyamoto Musashi guy, You might call it the void chakra. Maybe. Because if you're resonating appropriately, if you're really harmonious, and all these parts of you, the 3 selves, the 7 chakras, the little soul, big soul conundrum, the magic and science thing, the one and many thing, if all those things come into proper resolution and you find yourself just laughing with it and enjoying it for the play that it is, at some level on the journey, at some point, well, at some point the way is no way, right? We talked about conflict resolution. That 7th chakra stuff, right? At least that's my take on it. Because that's where I used to hate that chakra. I used to love it so much for its color and for the basic idea. But then you start getting into the details of it, the brass tacks, and you start hearing people say things like, this is where the obliteration of the self occurs. This is where absorption into the divine occurs. This is the point at which, if this chakra fully opens, there is no return to individual reality. There's no need. Sure, human yogi. I don't know, man. I just think the sandbox is bigger than that. Then again, these guys were trying to fit concepts that are just absurd into things like words. So they could be passed down through our vocal pipes and through our scribery, generation to generation, amidst all the catastrophes that humankind has ever faced. The floods, the fires, the tigers, each other. Mostly each other, I want to say. You know, here's a thought. You get birthed into the world from the root chakra of the mother, right? I mean, the womb is in the basic self territory as well. It mostly does itself. The body just puts on the positive feedback loops and the gate opens. And the pushing happens. Hopefully you got some good people assisting you and supporting you. If not, if you're clan of the cave bearing it, you know what I'm talking about if you read that book. Whoo, boy. You could do that too, because people have done it. I don't think I could do it, because I don't have a womb. But even if I did, whoo. So you get sewn into your body, pushed out the gate, out the base chakra of the mother, into the physical. You're sewn in. The next sewing occurs as you develop your body's structures, as your caregivers reinforce the support through methods proven through time. The nurturing, the grooming, the looking, the mirroring, the smiling, the playing, the word learning, the terrible twos, the why questioning, the puberty, the awkwardness, the rites of passage, the acceptance into the community, the friendship circle, the falling out with old, the taking on of the new. You have your chance to get it right the first time, but it's not necessarily quite as much up to you when your body is physically assembling itself according to the ancient codes of evolution and such, and also the happenstance of the day and the environment. I'm not discounting such things as Chernobyl, Tunguska, that kind of thing. But it's out the gate at the first chakra. You get built up from the ground up. Then you get the chance to build yourself up if things haven't gone horribly awry. By the time you achieve majority, the good balance between the neuroplasticity of your childhood and the structural integrity of a hopefully well-grown, reinforced adolescence into adulthood. There's a chance you make the great leap the first time around. And then it's an elevator ride up through your life. And things just work. Not to say that those people don't suffer tremendously. I'm not here to get into the weeds about that. We were just talking about selves. Selves who came into chakras. And then I started equating the 3 selves with the birth of a human being, the great leap of the human being, which hopefully has something to do with some crux point of your life. Hopefully things look a lot different after you make that leap. Not everybody makes that leap. Few do in our day and age, I would say. A lot of false takers. Very few people on that path. But it does happen. Cutting across a yard, skipping a little into the sidewalk. I got cut up by some bramble over the log, through the churchyard. That's a very special place right there. That door specifically, you're never going to know why. That's my journey. These are my missions. Some of them are just a little too secret, a little too sexy. I have to maintain some level of confidentiality. You will never know. Or you might. Because what does it really matter anyway? I'm just a person. Anyway, there's the gate of the base. Man and woman come together. They merge, the implanting happens, the seed is planted. You get pushed out the gate. At some point in your life, by God, I hope it happens to you. You gain some kind of an awareness. It doesn't have to be verbal. I wouldn't get preoccupied with the verbal. It's the least necessary part for the awareness of the heart. So you get pushed out the gate at the bottom. Then maybe if life goes really well for you, you have a chance to discover the opening of the middle gate, the heart. Ain't that nice? And everything opens up. And you take that leap. And suddenly you're capable, even if you don't know it, of love that costs nothing and gives forever. Oh. I think a lot of therapists these days would call that thriving. Loving through thriving. Rather than loving through survival and scarcity or duty or trauma. Gotta love that word. Don't hear enough of that these days. Triggers and trauma. God, I'm gonna get myself deplatformed. It's funny because I become so easily triggered myself, and I gotta take steps back and figure my stuff out. God. I'm so not the advanced life form that the words might paint the illusion of throughout all this. Anyway. Good intersection. Solid intersection. The top gate. The 7th gate. Yeah, they're wheels. Yeah, they're light. Yeah, they're gates. When I'm thinking 3 selves, I think of those 3 areas specifically. The root of your spine area, pelvic floor, that whole area, first chakra area, the heart area where you can really open up and breathe easy for the first goddamn time in your life. Love, unconditional connection beyond everything. Even in disconnection, even in negative space that serves just to abridge the 2 things that seem separate and isolated. And then maybe after some giving, and after some journeying, maybe some journaling, maybe some talking, kind of like I'm doing right now. Maybe after all that, just maybe in a human lifetime and not somewhere in the death process, but definitely in the death process, it's time to exit up and out through the top gate. The mortal coil. You crawl back up the ladder. Rejoice. Somebody like Maynard sings a song like 10,000 Days for you, and you're good to go. I don't know why I went off on that little bit. Really, I didn't need to get into the weeds so much on the 3 selves thing. It's okay. I'm a bit verbose. We all know it. I get kind of excited. We all know it. Remember what I said about people being radically happy in public? Maybe now you can see why I have kind of a hard time. Funny though, I like people. Maybe some of them are aware they like me too. Oh boy. It's all good though. It's all good. It's all good. I have homework for you. Adversity, life, death, finding some kind of a love in that, in all that, finding some motivation in all that. If you want something kind of nice that can speak on all this, at least a little bit, in the form of song, then I have extra credit homework for you. Get online, go to your iTunes and buy, or just go on YouTube, check it out and buy if you really like it, a song by the band Puscifer, Puscifer. You pronounce that however you want to. I'm not here to hate. That band created a song that you can look up, and that song is called Bedlamite. Bedlamite is a good song. The last words of that song, if there is a chorus, perhaps this is the chorus. It's gonna be alright. Everything will be alright. Now, doesn't that sound nice? Because the rest of that song deals with tremendous adversity in the face of life, doing just the things that life does, which is change. And people got to adapt when these things change. It happened before, sometimes in really big ways. We have things like ice ages in this world. And then we get on our feet sometimes. Or maybe the next time it happens, there's no human race afterwards, but the last time it happened, there was. Isn't that nice? You and me are made of some pretty cool stuff. Before I considered that possibility, I was a little more cynical about people. Okay, let's be honest. I was really fucking cynical about people. Really nihilistic. What's the goddamn point of personhood? But now, I listen to Bedlamite, and things are groovy. And I get a little dance going. And you bet your ass I can't help but sing along. Except the lyrics are kind of hard to follow. Except the ones that I already said. Alright, let's walk the last few feet. Let's face the road too. Rather, let's have, oh my god. There's that wrist snap. Oh. Let's have you face the road. Woo! Okay. Alright. Yeah, we're good. Oh my god, my legs. My flippin' flappin' legs. Damn, you just saw me, didn't you? Curses! Oh well. It's for the better. It's always for the better. That's free. Ooh. There's a little steppy step ladder that's free right there. That's quite nice. Well, this is it. This is it for you and I today. Did you have fun? Did you learn anything? I learned something. I learned it's really, really difficult to just stick to one subject when I'm talking about things that I'm really curious about, interested in, and working through. I also learned it's easy to forgive the enthusiasm. I've been in this little cabin for a long time. I've been pedaling around these woods for a long time. Or I think it's a long time. 60 years from now when I'm still doing this, or I've moved on to a better, cooler thing, I wonder how I would consider that thinking. Let's sit. I'm not done with you yet. Sometimes I like to talk about things. Sometimes I like to profess things. Even though I have no MDs. I've got an AA. I've got 2 AAs. But, yeah, man. I don't know. I was just really excited to share this today, and I'm glad you were there for me. Glad you were there listening. Hopefully not puking your guts out at the roiling of my camera. So we'll see if I fix episode 11 or not. I might just take out the first part and only include the second part and call that episode 11. This does not have to be a perfect podcast. This is grassroots. I will, at some point, buy myself a head cam that will dissipate the head roll problem, or at least mitigate it. And I'll wear it on my head so I can go hands-free. Or on my chest, but probably my head. So, is there anything else that needs to be said? I'm happy we did this. Let's see. Yep, still recording. 1:32. So, in a few more minutes, it'll probably cut this up into 4 pieces. Jesus. Didn't expect that. But we're heading there, okay? Prophecies for the future. We want to make as many runs an hour or longer as possible at this point. After we've been doing that for a little while, we'll pivot and we'll go hour and 15 or hour and a half as many times as possible. You know, in terms of what I feel like. I follow the feeling, not the numbers. But the numbers don't lie. It seems to be fissures and calluses and all. We appear to be ready for an hour most days. It seems like we were almost doing that anyway when we began with the test series, the first 10 episodes. Now here on episode 12, I'm pretty confident that I can run an hour a day every day. Not that I would. 6 and 7 is fine. 5 and 6 is fine. So let's do that. Let's continue these hours. And we'll make the call at some point in the next few weeks about when to grade up to the hour and a halfers. Hell, if things work out really freaking well, could be 2 hours. I don't expect that. Let's see how it fits into the work schedule. But you can bet your sweet bellyache and bippy one thing and one thing only. We ain't getting off this train. It feels too damn good. It feels too damn right. We ain't getting off this train. We're going for it. Remember the milestone that I told you guys about. It's further down the line, but we will get there. You and I. Together. Like friends. Like warriors on the same path. Don't come to my house. Don't give me a hug if you don't know me. However, we can still be warriors on the same road. I encourage you 100% to run with me. Whatever that means for you. And like I was saying, remember that milestone that I talked about last time or the time before? Both, I think. Which was 5 hours. Most days. Yeah. That's only the beginning, too. We'll talk later. Love you. Pet your dog for me. Have some coffee. Love ya. Eh.